Today we will analyze the single phase AC circuits with different circuit elements, that is the resistance, inductance and capacitance separately. So first of all, consider a purely resistive circuit. Now a purely resistive or a non-inductive circuit is a circuit which has inductance so small that at normal frequency its reactance is negligible as compared to its resistance. The ordinary filament lamps, the water heater, these are some examples of non-inductive resistance. If the circuit is the non-inductive, so no back EMF will be produced when the alternating current will flow through the element. So now consider a purely resistive circuit that I have shown here. R is the resistance, R ohms. It is connected across the voltage, alternating voltage V. So the circuit is closed, therefore the current I will be flowing through the circuit. Here the V is the alternating voltage and it can be represented as V max sin omega t. The current is also the alternating current. As we have already discussed that when the current flowing through a purely resistive circuit, then no back EMF will be produced here. Therefore, the applied voltage has to overcome the ohmic drop only. So in this circuit, we can use the Ohm's law, and according to the Ohm's law, we can write V is equal to I into R, or I can be written as V upon R. Now put the value of V here. The V is V max sin omega t. So here it will be V max sin omega t upon R. So this is the value of the instantaneous current that will be flowing in this purely resistive circuit. Now here we can see that V max is the maximum value of the voltage and it is a constant. And similarly R is the resistance, it is also the constant. So the current will be maximum when the sin omega t value will be equal to 1. Therefore, the maximum current can be written as V max upon R. So now in this current expression, instead of V max upon R, we can write I max. So the instantaneous current I can be written as I max sin omega t. So that will be the current flowing through a purely resistive circuit. Means if we apply V equal to V max sin omega t voltage across a resistance, then the corresponding current will be I max sin omega t. Here we can see that if we draw the phasor diagram of the voltage and current, we can see that the V is equal to V max sin omega t. So at time t equal to 0, the value of the voltage will be equal to 0. Therefore, the phasor diagram of the voltage will be drawn in the reference line. So here it will be V. And similarly, so here it is the V. This is the phasor diagram of the voltage. It will be along the reference line because here the supply voltage is V max sin omega t. That is mentioned here. And the corresponding current is also I equal to I max sin omega t. Therefore, the current will also be in the reference line. So it will be I. So we can conclude that for a purely resistive circuit, so in the phasor diagram you can see that this is the phasor of the voltage because V equal to V max sin omega t, and this is the phasor of the current because I equal to I max sin omega t. Therefore, we can conclude that for a purely resistive circuit, the voltage and current will be in phase. That means the phase difference between voltage and current will be equal to 0. Now, if we want to draw the waveform of the voltage and current, that can be shown here as I have drawn here the voltage and current waveform. Here you can see that V equal to V max sin omega t that we have considered initially, and corresponding the current that is flowing in the circuit, it is equal to I max sin omega t. So at omega t equal to 0, both the voltage and current will be 0. So both the waveform will start from the 0. At 90 degree, that is pi by 2, voltage and current both will be maximum because sin omega t value will be maximum. Similarly at pi, both the value will be again 0. At 3 pi by 2, both will be negative, and at 2 pi, both the value will be again 0. So this is the waveform of the voltage, and this is the waveform of the current. So as these two parameters are in phase, that we have already seen in the phasor diagram, so the waveform will also go with the same pattern. Both will start from 0, both will reach to the maximum value at pi by 2. Again, both the value will be 0 at pi, and so on. Now what will be the power of the purely resistive circuit? As we know that the power is considered as P is equal to V into I. So here the instantaneous voltage is multiplied with the instantaneous current, so we'll get the instantaneous power. Now put the value of V and I. So V is V max sin omega t, and I is I max sin omega t. So here we can write V max into I max into sin square omega t. Now divide this value by 2 and multiply by 2. So here we can write V max upon root 2 into I max upon root 2. 2 sin square omega t can be written as 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Here the V max by root 2 is considered as the VRMS. I max upon root 2 is the IRMS that we have already seen in previous classes. And now it is 1 minus cos 2 omega t. Therefore, it will be VI minus VI cos 2 omega t. So this is the expression of the instantaneous power for a purely resistive circuit. Remember one thing, when we consider the power, we consider the average value of the power over a complete cycle. Therefore, the average power represented by capital P, it will be the average of the first part and the average of the second part. Here the V and I, the RMS values, these are the constants. So their average will also be constant. But in the second part, there is a term T. So over a complete cycle, this cosine term will become 0. Therefore, the average of the second term will be 0. Therefore, the power of a purely resistive circuit is the product of RMS voltage and RMS current. It is same as that of DC circuit that we have already seen in the first module. So if we explain the part again, so this is a purely resistive circuit. Here V is applied the alternating voltage V max sin omega t. Corresponding current will flow, that is I. According to the Ohm's law, V equal to I into R, or I can be written as V upon R. So it will be V max sin omega t upon R. When the sin omega t value is equal to 1, the current will be maximum. So I max is equal to V max upon R. Therefore, the instantaneous current can be represented as I max sin omega t. In phasor diagram, both the voltage and current are in reference line. So these two are in phase, or the phase angle between voltage and current is equal to 0. The instantaneous power can be calculated by multiplying the instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current. So it is V max sin omega t into I max sin omega t. Then by simplifying, we get the instantaneous power equal to Vi minus Vi cos 2 omega t. The power for a electrical circuit is always considered as the average power. So if we find the average of the terms, then the first term is constant, so it will be same, that is V into I. But the second term depends upon time, so over a complete cycle, the average value of this will be equal to 0. So finally, the power will be equal to V into I. If we show the power in waveform, so here we can see that the voltage and current that we have already drawn, both are in phase, and the power is the product of V into I. Therefore, if we want to draw the waveform, then the power waveform will be represented by this blue line. So this is the power. When both voltage and currents are 0, their product, that means power, will also be 0. As the omega t value is gradually increasing, voltage is increasing as well as current, so their product will also be increasing, that means the power will be increasing. At 90 degree, both the value will be maximum, so their product, that means power, will also be the maximum. So this is the maximum power. Again, voltage and current both are decreasing, so the product will also be the decreasing. At pi, both values are 0, so the product, that means power, will also 0. After pi to 2 pi, voltage and current both becomes negative. Therefore, their product will also be positive. So from pi to 2 pi, again the waveform of the power will be positive side. So in this way, we will get the power for a purely resistive circuit. This type of power is considered as the pulsating power, because here the magnitude of the power is not constant, it is continuously changing. But if we want to calculate the average power is mentioned as V into I. Okay. Now see the example. Here the question is a 250 volt, it is the RMS value, a 250 volt 50 Hertz voltage is applied across a circuit of resistance 20 ohms. Determine the current flowing through the circuit. The second part is find the power absorbed by the circuit. And the third part is give the expression for the voltage and current. So as we seen that Imax was Vmax upon R, that we have seen. So we can write IRMS is equal to Vrms upon R also. Therefore, the current I is voltage 250 upon resistance, that is 20. So it is 12.5 ampere. Now the power. The power is the product of voltage and current. Here the voltage is given as 250 and current we have calculated, that is 12.5. So finally we'll get 3125 watt, or we can write 3.125 kilowatt. So this is the first part, the current flowing through the circuit, and this is the second part, that is the power absorbed by the circuit. The third part is give the expression for the voltage and current. We know that the expression of the voltage is Vmax sin omega t, and the current expression is Imax sin omega t. Here the Imax can be written as root 2 into IRMS. So it will be root 2 into 12.5, and that is 17.68 ampere. Similarly, Vmax will be root 2 into Vrms, that is root 2 into 250, and it will be 353.6 volt. We know that omega is equal to 2 pi f. In the question the frequency is given as 50, so it will be 2 pi into 50. So it will be 314. So now we can write the expression of the current I is equal to Imax, that is 17.68 sin 2 pi ft or omega t, that is 314 t. And similarly the voltage is Vmax, that is 353.6 sin 2 pi ft or omega t, and again it is 314 t. So this is the third part of the question, expression of the instantaneous voltage and instantaneous current. So these are the answers. Now see the second question. The question is a 100 volt 60 watt bulb is to be operated from 220 volt supply. What resistance must be connected in series with the bulb to get the rated output? The question is, we have a bulb of 60 watt and the voltage level of the bulb is 100 volt. If we connect the bulb directly to 220 volt supply, then the current rating will be very high and the bulb will be fused. Therefore, we have to add a resistance in series with the bulb so that the extra voltage will be dropped across the resistance and exactly 100 volt will be supplied to the bulb. So the question is, what will be the resistance that must be connected in series with the bulb? Now let's see the solution. It is the circuit according to the question. It is the bulb, 60 watt bulb. The voltage across the bulb should be 100 volt. The supply voltage is 220 volt. With the bulb, we have connected a resistance R, and there will be a voltage drop across the resistance, and that will be VR. So here, if we apply the KVL in this loop, the KVL states that the sum of all the voltage drop should be equal to the voltage source. Therefore, 100 plus VR should be equal to 220, and VR will be equal to 220 minus 100, that is 120 volt. That means the value of the resistance would be such that the voltage drop across the resistance will be 120 volts. Now, from the rating of the bulb, we can find the current. As we know that the bulb is a purely resistive circuit, and for a purely resistive circuit, the power is represented as V into I. So in this case, the power of the bulb is 60 watt. The voltage across the bulb is 100 volt. So here we can find the current. So current will be 60 upon 100, and that is 0.6 ampere. As the bulb and the resistance are connected in series, that means the same current will flow through the resistance also. So the voltage drop across the resistance VR can be written as I into R. The VR we have calculated is 120. The current that will flow through the resistance is 0.6. So we can find the resistance, that is 120 upon 0.6. So it is 200 ohms. Therefore, the answer is we have to connect a resistance of 200 ohms in series with the bulb so that the bulb will give exactly 60 watt as the output. So that is the answer. Thank you.